Hello YouTube, it's been a while since I did an hobby update in which I was like rambling, but I got a free day off. Now she's off to work, so I'm taking the time and liberty to put some things to talked paper or whatever you need to call it. But there are a few things on my mind, nothing too spectacular, and I'm just going to have a chat about it. In the meantime, while I'm doing this, I am going to occupy myself with snipping sprues. Got those from a friend at the club for for nothing. He just was cleaning out his bit box. They're Space Marine sprues. So I can use them, even though they're loyalists in my Emperor's Children army, because it's both sides, Chaos and Imperial models I use for them. So you got like these Giant Troopers who are like my Raptors. I just think it looks better recent converts to Chaos. But in this episode I want to talk about three things: a club observation, the analog hobby painting challenge and how I really need to up my game, and a rant. Now, I don't rant, but we'll get to that afterwards. So let's start with the club observation. Now I'm back into wargaming since April. Of course I joined TSA immediately again. This is going to take a whole lot of time. And I've been doing some observations, just nothing ranty, but like I like to say, the club is a 28mm club. You know, we're all getting a bit older, wargaming not really for the young and dashing, and when they are young and dashing they tend to play skirmish games or Games Workshop games, like myself also, even though I'm not that young at nearing the 40 mark. And that's also 28 heroic 32mm, whatever you want to call them, you know, the basic standards, like it's known to everyone, size of a figure. So I've been watching a lot and taking pictures of lots of club nights, which you can find on my blog. And most periods that are played, being it, well, World War II, Napoleonics, American Civil War, fantasy games, almost everything is in 28mm. So it's not a bad thing, but that means that for myself, after observing this, and with 2017 being like restoring armies just to play, and 2018 will be all about actually putting armies on the table and starting new projects, 28mm seems to be the way to go. That way I can get actually games in with my collection. Now what I also noticed is that, well, rusted is perhaps a bad word, but what you got is that they all got their favorite set of rules, and it's not that simple to introduce something new. Like, for example, Mortem et Gloriam is a pretty popular rule set at the moment. All the army lists are downloadable, you need the book or whatever. I haven't played it yet, but it covers a lot of periods and armies, and, well, it has kind of a tournament scene, so you can mix and match periods if you really like for a game. So I'm going to use those rules, well, the base of the rules, to count out armies in both the Chang dynasty, it's ancients, 500 before Christ, 1000 before Christ, somewhere Chinese, just because I like painting them. They're going to be First Corps miniatures, Curtain miniatures, mostly, and a Mongol army. Watch Marco Polo, I was so under the impression of the performance of Benedict Wong as a Kublai Khan. I just want a Mongol army. I think it's typical for wargamers that when you see something cool, it piques your interest, and well, you want to build an army in it, so I'm guilty of that as well. It wasn't under planning. I don't even know if I'm actually ever going to get a gaming with them, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to try to get Mortem and Gloriam played second half of 2018, probably, because I got some projects running first for big battles and stuff, and get it to be played at the Tin Soldier of Antwerp. We'll see where it goes. But what I meant is, like, you've got these huge communities out there. Even if you look at the T3 site, it's a tournament organizer site here in Europe, which lists basically all the tournaments that are registered there. And For example, Flames of War still going strong, and it's like dead at the club. Well, if you, now that I say it and they watch it, they say, oh, but I can play Flames of War. But generally speaking, if you come in on a Friday night, you won't be seeing any Flames of War battles or 50mm battles. 50mm being a very popular scale all over the world, except at the Tin Soldiers for some reason. So that's what I meant with it's a 28mm club. That's point number one. I even found my army, but I'm not restoring it anytime soon because I won't be playing with it anyway. So, but it seems that the Flames of War game has basically ended when my old clique stopped their how long was it? 1.5 years long campaign, World War II, Flames of War, Victory at Sea from Mongoose Publishing, who remembers them. So yeah, it's been years since it was really actively played. So I'm not saying the occasional game, like last Friday there was a 6mm game, World War II. But that's more the exception than the norm, that those things are played. So it's just an observation. You got your sets of rules, not much innovation in that one. It's a good thing, not everybody jumps on the bandwagon when something new comes out and then you end up with rule books and armies that aren't being played. An example for myself is, what was it, 2013 when the Fire and Sword game, the Polish game came out, and a lot of club members jumped on it. I joined in, bought the book, bought the Cossack starter army. Well, it's still in the garage and it's plastic because it never, in the end, it never took off at a club. Nobody painted their armies, wasn't played. It's a bit pity because it's really, really nice models. So I might paint them for the Analog Hobby Painting Challenge issue 9 coming end of this year. So, which brings us to the second point, the Analog Hobby Painting Challenge. So I'm in this year, and we're nearing the end of month 1. And I am at 234 points of the 750 points I've put forward as a target. Which means I am on schedule. I did a third of the needed points in a third of the time. But at the moment I've got more free time than I like to. But that's hopefully going to change soon, which also means I have like zero margin on my paint schedule, because I tend to upload entries of between 25 and 50 points a week, because I counted out at the beginning that that would bring me on a nice, easy and steady speed to my target. Well, if I don't have the free time anymore, I won't get there, so I am now currently painting big blocks, hopefully to get a 1 or 2 weeks entries of around 100, 150 points in there. Not really point bombs of 500 points as you see some people do at one go. I go like, how the hell do you get that much time? But yeah, well, for this week I'm going to upload a bunch of historicals. It's only around 50 points again. But for the week afterwards, I'm painting on it now already, I'm going to try and upload a huge, well actually yeah, it's huge, amount of Emperor's Children reinforcements, characters, units, the whole shebang, which actually could be filled like around 500 points for me or something, because it got the necessary troop choices and everything in it. Got characters chosen, cultists, well, a bit of everything. Depending what I get done before next Saturday, because then I need to upload it. Usually don't have time in the week to do it, so we'll see how that goes. At the moment I'm already at 60 points finished. Well, needs varnishing, but that's going to come okay. The week after that I am going to aim and paint up all the Alpine gnomes I've got from the Kickstarter. You can find an unboxing video somewhere few weeks ago on this channel under the album unboxing. It was a nice Kickstarter by Old School Miniatures. They're like tiny little gnomes with lederhosen. I couldn't resist them to use them as a halfling contingent in my Empire army, which is one of those big projects I need to spend time on, and the Analog Hobby Painting Challenge is helping on that, because I need to have 4,000 points ready by August for the big Warhammer battle, and I'm currently at 1,700 or something. So slowly but steadily the whole army is being restored, but well, once I start painting on my Steam tanks, the points total is going up like crazy, of course, but it's all rank and file first, being well, yeah, I love master infantry. But yeah, I'll need to paint up a lot more in the coming weeks. So I also got 2 regiments of American Civil War who are going to be assembled hopefully this week. So they're not undercoated, not painted yet, but as you can see, a box of Perry miniatures is I believe a slide somewhere down there, so I'm going to sneak. 40 models, so that's 40 models, 28mm plus command, 44. Well, an additional blister of command troops, because I'm splitting them in 2 units of 24 and 20, because the fast play rules we play at ASR, they use regiments of 16 to 24 models, as do most use rule books, by the way. But that means another 200 points when they should be painted, and considering they're all blue, that should go rather swiftly. Add in some command models like the, well, I'm filling the 2nd Irish Brigade, yeah, so I got the meat figure, that's also, no, this Hancock, sorry, Hancock, his 10 points and his command cavalry, blah 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 blah. Might be a 250, 300 point entry when all is said and done. And that should put me more or less in safe waters if those 3 projects are done, to reach my target, and everything I'll be painting afterwards is just a bonus to well, go over my 750 goal, and well, perhaps I reach 1,000, but I doubt it. We'll see how it goes. Which brings us to the final part of this video, and this is something I actually don't like doing, but I am so pissed. I'm going to do it. I'm going to rant about a company. Now, before you judge me or go fanboyish on me, because I have no doubt there are some fanboys out there. I'm from an era where I had to buy scale model magazines, so that's far before the internet. You had to find a advertisement of companies. It was a Russian company back then. You had to go to the bank and exchange, back then, Belgian francs for Russian rubles. Count it all out, how much it would be with postal costs and everything. Send the money with a written order in an envelope to Russia. And 3 months later, you got a big cardboard box with all kinds of old model kits. It was like vacuum form in those days. So I am talking 20, 25 years ago, when I was just getting into the hobby and everything. So it's also the time when Games Workshops had the offer for the Imperial Dwarfs, for which you had to write a shtick and mail it in. So that long ago. That means I am patient for orders. I'm not one of those guys who order now and wanted their parcel yesterday. 2-3 weeks, 4 weeks for something, I don't mind. It happens. It's not like when it comes the day afterwards, I don't have anything to paint anyway, so I've got time. Now, the company in question, Wayland Games, online retailer, I ordered there a lot. I ordered there already before I went on my hiatus from 5.5 years from the hobby, so it's like 8 or 9 years ago when I started ordering there, for my Flames of War even. So, I know, it happens. Restock expected, yada yada yada, 2-3 weeks instead of 3-4 days before an order is shipped. Not a problem. Never had a problem with it. I bide my time. Now, I've got an order running now. I've made it the 3rd of December. So that's more than a month ago. Which, like I said, actually doesn't bother me. But I got a mail from them. It was Monday. Yeah, past Monday. It said, please, we got a problem processing your orders, getting items in stock, everything you want, yada 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 yada. Please contact us. So I do that. Now you gotta know, I got a Games Workshop store at half a minute bus ride, it's 5 kilometers, but with public transport from my door. So I rarely order Games Workshop online. Even at retailers, you know, at their minus 20% and everything, no, I'm just going to the store, I'm supporting the company, it's just easy, you know, a few people there, have a chat, and in the end, even with the shipping costs, because I don't tend to buy in big bulk lots, but always a box of unit, a box of that, something like that. Well, my white dwarf every month, stuff like that. The 20% ain't worth it. So, okay, no problem there. And I know that apart from Games Workshop, Wayland Games has usually everything in back order. Well, restock expected, blah blah blah. No problem. You could have seen it in my ordering history, by the way, that I barely order Games Workshop from them, but heck. So, more out of curiosity, I contacted them, filed the ticket, blah blah blah. Because it said, we want to see what your options are. So I thought, oh heck, maybe if it's really troublesome, change the order, get my order back, blah blah blah, or I'll just wait. The idea was I'll just wait, but I wanted to hear what they have to say. Curiosity killed the cat. Tuesday I received a reply from a guy called Graham Taylor or something, George Taylor, I don't know, Mr. Taylor from now on. Heck, call him Mr. Black, whatever. Now, the impression I got from the mail is that he's like the trained mail order chimp or something, because it was rather short, rather run-of-the-mill, and frankly, rather impolite. Because Mr. X, let's call him Mr. X, we're not gonna hammer on his name all the time, send me a mail, 2 lines long, no, 3 lines long, because it also had a hello and a thank you, so that's line 1 and line 3, saying that my options are, and this I find hilarious because they wanted to discuss my options. My options are to wait, or to change the contents of the order. But what's the problem? Apart from Games Workshop, they barely have anything in stock. Like I need some Bersaglieri for my bold action, and some finish for my American Civil War, and all you want. Well, guess what? Fireforge Games, Mongols, like I said earlier, it's all restock expected. Bleh. So I don't have any really option except to wait. Which I've sent them in the mail and said like, okay, nice. I guess I'll have to wait because there's nothing else I can do. You got most things not in restock. Okay, let's hear what they have to say. Few hours later, I didn't check it because I wasn't home. Mr. X sent me a new mail. Again, now he was very chatty. He wrote 4 lines because apart from the hello and the bye bye, apparently he last line, but it was basically a 1-line reply, saying, and that pissed me off, well, you have to understand, I'm not going to read it literally, but we have suppliers who send in our stuff, everything you want, and due to the Christmas period, many of them were closed. I know, suppliers close over the holidays. No problem. But what pissed me off is the fact that said order was made the 3rd of December. Now I also look at other sites, Fireforge Games, Elemental Games, all you want, blah blah blah, expected delivery dates, all you want. I always do because sometimes I from one, sometimes from the other. An order made on the 3rd of December has nothing to do with your suppliers being closed like the week of the 24th to the 1st of January. That is like saying that you can't fulfill an order because, well, it's Easter or something. If I order now, it's not going to be arriving because anytime soon, because it's like, I don't know, Valentine's Day coming up. And the thing I'm a bit double about this is, on the one hand, yeah, I planned on waiting. I mean, I want the stuff. It's nothing spectacular actually. It's like 60 pound order of some crumb-like material and some Prodas miniatures. Well, alternatives for Games Workshop models, but not Games Workshop models. So stuff like that. Noise Marinic conversion parts. Nothing that is urgent. In the end, I need them on the table by 27th of May. So I'm not pressed. But it was the way that guy replied 2 times in a not too elaborate, not too polite, see, I'm trying to keep calm here, way, with a totally, for me, bullshit excuse of it's because of the Christmas days that I've got something like, I'm really toying with the idea at the moment to go to PayPal, file a claim, because they don't want to cancel the order. There's no way I get my money back. My options are wait or get something else. So that's like, if he just replied with, look, we have problems with the supplier, or look, the supplier hasn't delivered, or whatever, something like that, something that sounds truthful, I could deal with that. The end result is the same. I have to wait. But sending a message claiming that for an order made on the 3rd of December you have problems with your supplier who is going on holidays from the 24th of December, I don't think that's great customer service. That means you have that order lying around there for like 20 days, 21 days, 20 days, whatever. Christmas fell on a Sunday, so 19 days before actually doing something with it, and then going, oh, they're not in stock, let's contact our supplier. After 8 years, I think I really placed my final order with them. It's a bit shame. I always like them, their prices are okay, even though I'm not going to say which ones. There are other retailers online who have better prices. I paid £17 for a crumb-like set I want, and I saw it on other sites at 16 points. And they all have loyalty programs, so you all get that, and the shipping costs are all like the same. But like I started the observation that at a club the rules are a bit a beast of habit. I'm usually that with the stores I get my stuff from, and I have to go online because in Belgium there is barely any decent online store, and the few that are there, instead of marking down prices like a lot of UK retailers tend to do on sets, they mark them up with like 20% or something. So that's like totally a no-go for me. I found one who actually here was in Holland or something. Yeah, it was in Holland. So yes, well, this sounds cruel, but we already have to start looking for alternatives come the Brexit, and then we are going to pay, probably in all probability, going to pay import taxes again. So we're not going to do that. Pay 33% extra on every order. Who had a current set of it was a warp talents. They're 23 euros in the Games Workshop show store, in stock at, hold on to your hats now, 47 euros a box, and that's a recognized online retailer. Well, or one-man operation. I don't care shit. But they had a lot of game systems, and a lot of increased prices. Now, don't ask me which one. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not going to say which one, because you have to look for that for yourself. But at the moment, for us Belgians, Flemish guys, it's still more worth it to order in the UK and pay the shipping. But yeah, well, come the Brexit, we are going to have to look out for decent alternatives. France, Germany, Holland, Belgium, I don't know. Got someone at the club who can order from most historical sites like Wayland Games, Forge Games, blah blah blah. And then you just pay the retail price, which is nice, great service. But those are the things we are going to have to look at come 2019, when is it? 2019, 2020, which is not that far away at all. But anyway, rant over. You understand, well, I'm not too happy about that service. I don't even mind what they're going to do now. I'm just going to, well, oh, that's another thing. After I replied that the bullshit excuse for the Christmas thingy, and they could just say it, which was on a Tuesday evening. We're now Sunday. I still haven't heard anything from them. They don't bother to reply. So it's like, big label, customer service. We're not doing that shit. That's how it feels. I'm not saying they're doing it and that they don't have the best intentions and everything they want for a customer, but be polite. Send a message. I worked on an office for a long time. If I sent one reply and I didn't answer to any mails I got, well, big cigar at the head honcho's office then. So it's yeah, well, sign of the times. Not interested, or they're not big enough. I don't know, but I'm sorry for them, but they've lost a customer. I'm just waiting for my parcel, and after that they can go like mile high, choo-choo, bye-bye. So that's about it. Now I'm going to... Oh Jesus, what amount of sprues. I've already a nice part in the meantime, so about 8 sprues. I also have to sort it out in my bits boxes afterwards, but that's a nightmare from sometime else. The other things I'm going to do today is continue painting on the Analog Hobbies painting set, and in the meantime going to watch some more anime. Well, it's actually playing while I paint, so it's my female touch. I can multitask, watch television and paint. Also helps, of course, that I'm seeing you here, and right behind you is my monitor. One of my 2 monitors on which I can play my DVDs and Blu-rays for some nice watching. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for standing up with my well, idiotic ravings and everything. See you next time, and brush on in the new year. Cheers!